Hey guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and I'm a wife and a homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos, and we are so glad that you're here. Today we get to talk about one of my favorite things, which is curriculum. So let's jump right in. Today we're going to talk about 3rd grade curriculum. Now this will be our 5th year homeschooling our kiddos. Homeschool is one of the greatest joys of our family. It is something that we have just been blessed with to be able to do this. And we want to share that joy in our lives with you guys. So today, 3rd grade curriculum, let's jump right into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about today is language arts, and this is what we use for language arts. So language arts and literature level 3, this is the course book. This is from The Good and the Beautiful. We have used The Good and the Beautiful. This will be our 5th year. This company is tried and true in our homeschool. They do so many good things, but the one thing that I love about this particular curriculum is that it encompasses a lot of different subjects. So we have phonics, writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, spelling, literature, geography, and art. And it certainly does encompass all of these different things. So you don't have to have a curriculum that has multiple different books for different things related to your language arts. My daughter loves doing language arts. This is one of her favorite subjects. She is an avid reader. She reads all the time. So I have seen this work for my daughter. I've seen it for myself firsthand, and it's wonderful. There's nothing negative that I have to say about this particular curriculum, and it's wonderful. So just as an example for the art, because I just want to show you a quick I want to show you a quick example of like the art. This is something that she did the other day. And I'm going to post a picture of what hers actually looked like. I was so proud of her. She was so proud of herself that she completed this project. And art is something that she really enjoys. She loves photography and different things like that, reading. And so this is perfect for her. But this is the course book. And with the course book comes the spelling book. Now this is something new for us this year. In our years previous when we've used this curriculum, they did not have a dedicated spelling book. So this has been new for us. It's not anything that takes up a lot of time. It literally takes her about 10 minutes to do the requirements, and it's not every lesson. So far, we've only had to use this every other lesson. So it doesn't take up very much time, and it just kind of hits on like those spelling rules and spelling words. There's always a riddle in it, which she really enjoys the riddle, and just different ways to remember your spelling words and your spelling rules. So that's the spelling book that comes with the course book. And also, it comes with 4 of these readers. Now, I only have this one with me today. This is Timothy of the 10th Floor, and I knew that we were going to enjoy this book so much, and we have. It is something that we get excited about reading every day in our homeschool. And a fun fact for you guys, if you did not know this, let me see if I have it. Yeah. Okay, so this is a series of books, Badger Hills Farm books, that The Good and the Beautiful has put out. And I think there's 6 books to the series. My daughter loves these books. She started this one this summer, and before we started this, and when we started this book, we got into like the 1st and 2nd chapters, and she was like, Mama, she said, I think this book ties into the Badger Hills Farm series. And I was like, really? And she said, yeah. She said, this is the book that comes before the series. And so we were really just excited that we were reading the information and it kind of set up the series for us. And now this is a third grade reading level. If you can see here on the binding, it says 3B level. So these are for third grade. This is a third grade reader. She started it this summer a bit early. So if we would have started this first, it would have set her up completely for this series, but it's been fun to realize that they are intertwined. So if you do buy this series for your child for a third grade reader, for their independent reading, just be aware that this book sets everything up for this series. And it has been the best little reader. And I will have to speak to this on The Good and the Beautiful. I love buying books from them because they are always morally uplifting. They center around God and family and all things good and beautiful to be expected from this company. You don't have to worry about the literature that you are getting. So, as a busy mom, homeschool mom, all of the things, I don't have time to sit and just kind of pour over the books that my kids read all the time. I need to be able to give her something that she is going to be interested in, where I don't have to scan it because she reads really fast and I would constantly just be poring over these books to look for content that is inappropriate for her age. And so, quick little side note, we were at the library a couple of weeks ago and she had picked out several different books that seemed good to her, and I allowed her to check them out. And then I brought them home and I was just kind of scanning over them. The content was not something that I was going to allow her to read. So we just kind of had to send those back to the library. She was a bit disappointed, but that's what, it was a lesson learned for us, because you can't always trust the literature that's just out and about in the world. But this company, you can trust. Anything that they put out is going to be good content to read for your children. So that's that. And I'll try to put a picture up here of the additional readers that come with the third grade curriculum for language arts. So that is The Good and the Beautiful. And I also just want to speak to them. They are an award-winning company. Year after year, they have won different awards surrounding their curriculum. This year, they were voted first place in their math, their spelling, language arts, the fact that they are an all-in-one curriculum and you don't have to pull from all of these different curriculums for your art, your geography, your grammar. It's an all-in-one curriculum. It is an open and go curriculum. And what that means is that you don't have to spend hours the night before prepping your coursework for the next day. You literally can wake up that morning, prepare your day, open their course book, and it's there for you. There is nothing that you need to do previous to them starting their lesson. And so that's also a good thing for us busy homeschool moms, is that it's open and go. You can take it with you wherever you go, which is also a good thing for our family because we travel all the time. And so for us, it's easy just to throw the books in a bin, in a tub, in a backpack, and we're just gone. And we don't have to worry about all the additional items that might need to go with certain curriculums. Okay, next up is math. And we have, no surprise here, The Good and the Beautiful. So this is Simply Good and Beautiful Math 3. This is our 5th year using The Good and the Beautiful Math. I have nothing negative to say. It has worked well for my daughter. Now, math is not typically a subject that she leans into. She has enjoyed multiplication. So we started really fast with multiplication in this book. And I was a bit worried at first with the beginning of the school year because it jumps in really fast. And so for us, getting into that routine every day, getting back into that homeschool routine, getting back to our lessons, and then also attacking the multiplication and all of these harder things that she's not quite used to yet, it was a bit of a learning curve. It was a bit of a struggle for a few weeks, but we have finally found our footing. The other day we did a lesson and she got through it really fast and she was like, Mama, this was a good day in school today. Like, I finished really fast and I really enjoyed math today. And she rarely says that about math. She just, she enjoys language arts more and she enjoys reading more, and so for her, math is something that she was like, do we have to do math today? And I'm like, yes, we have to. But she's getting to where she is enjoying the lessons. And I will have to say, if you see this picture, this is a little boy named Bo and a little girl named Chun, and they are from China. Every lesson, it has like a story surrounding their life and how it relates to the math concept that is presented that day. And so it's also like fun for us to figure out what Bo and Sean are doing on that particular day and how it relates to our lesson. So it's not just like a very boring lesson where you just kind of move some numbers around. It really kind of engages you with what is going on. And you also learn about China, which it's a geography lesson in itself. We'll get our globe down. Let me get our globe. So I just keep this with us wherever we're at pretty much. And anytime it talks about a country or a specific city or a region, we always just find it on our globe, and it's kind of like a little mini geography lesson. So in math, when we're talking about Bo and Chun and where they're from, we always go to China and we, talk about China, all the things related to that country and, the surrounding areas. And we get off on a lot of different subjects, but that's the fun part of homeschool. You can do that. You're not tied to a time or a curriculum. And so for us, that's one of the freedoms that we love about this life. Okay, so this is the math box that comes with the Simply Good and Beautiful Math 3 course book math box. And in it, you have this little calendar with some temperatures and things like that. And then you have these little, what are they called? Tanagrams? I don't know the correct wording for that. It doesn't matter anyway. You have this little measuring tool, which we've used quite a bit, and it's fun. You have some dice, some more dice, and then your little game pawns. So that's all that's in the math box. And I know a lot of moms will make their own little math boxes. I just buy it because it's easier and it's one less thing on my to-do list that I have to complete. And that list gets pretty long most of the time. Okay, so that's math. So moving on to handwriting. So handwriting, the good and the beautiful. Handwriting 3. So we have done this once again 5 years running now. No complaints, no complications. We started cursive. She's doing wonderful with that, and you can see her little artwork here. She loves art, like I said before, and this curriculum incorporates art all throughout the lessons, whether it's handwriting, whether it's language arts. So this is handwriting. This is something that we do every day. We do all of our core subjects daily, so that's handwriting, language arts, math. Now, for our next subjects, these are going to be on a loop schedule for us, meaning that we do these every other day. And so first off, I'm going to get into, let me think. First off, no. Okay, side note. Several weeks ago, I had the opportunity to travel down to Houston and go to a store called the Homeschool Store. And if you are in the area, you've never been to this store, and you're a homeschooling mom, a homeschooling family, I would highly recommend that you go to this store if you have any questions about curriculum. There are several different ladies in there who are exceptional at giving you different tips and tricks on how to homeschool your babies. They are homeschooling mamas themselves, and they know everything related to this store. So this was my third or fourth time to visit this store, and I always love it. And I'll put a picture. Looks can be very deceiving, and this is an example of that, because you walk up to it and you're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But then you walk in and it's like, it's like you've hit the homeschool jackpot. And I say that because any kind of game, any kind of manipulative, any kind of curriculum, any kind of coloring book, elective, whatever, it is there. And so a lot of times I will find something online that I think is going to be wonderful for our homeschool and a great addition to it. But I want to put my hands on it. I want to look at what I am buying, because let's face it, curriculum can get very expensive. We can't do that with an online product. A lot of times you will get a quick sample of it, and that's the best you're going to get. So it's really good to go to a store that has many different curriculums, different types of curriculum, whether you're classical or an unschooler, or if you lean towards the Charlotte Mason approach. It doesn't matter. They have something for everyone. So I was able to go there, and I had been running into a little bit of a problem with our homeschool rhythm when I was teaching my son, who is in kindergarten. A lot of times I would find that my daughter was just kind of waiting on me to start her lesson if she had already finished her independent part of her workbook. And I didn't like that. I wanted her to have something to do. So I had been seeing this around, and I got it. And it's called Fix It Grammar. It's from IEW. And now this is the second grade book, and that's fine. And this is the Town Mouse and the Country Mouse, okay? So this is going to just kind of expound a bit on grammar. And not to say that The Good and the Beautiful does not do a great job on grammar, editing sentences. We do this almost every lesson. But this is something that she can do on her own. And she also has a chance to practice more of her handwriting and just make those grammatical corrections and learn, and kind of do this independently as I am doing my son's lesson with him. And so we have not started this yet. I have not implemented this yet. But I'm excited to do it, and I think she's going to love it because, like I said, she loves language arts. She loves editing sentences, and IEW is a company that I have heard so much about over the years, and so many homeschooling mamas that I respect and look up to use this. So we're going to try it in addition to our language arts for this year. Okay, so let's talk about the subjects that we do not do every day that we sort of put on a loop schedule. These are the things that we're going to do once or twice a week, depending on how they fall in our loop. And those things are going to be history, science, and also health. We have a health book that we love doing, and so these are the things that we do one time a day. So I don't know if I said that right or not. So for instance, if it's a Monday, we're going to do history. Tuesday, we're going to do science. Wednesday, we're going to do health. And sometimes we kind of throw in health because that's just something that we like to do. It's a fun activity for us, and it doesn't take very long. So we may or may not put that in the loop, but definitely science and history, we do not do those every day. We alternate those. So let's talk about science. I was really struggling this year. I was really struggling with science because the science that we were doing, it wasn't bad. There was nothing bad about it, but it just wasn't something that I felt excited about. It wasn't something, I didn't feel like it was the right fit for us. I just wanted something more. And I was really just struggling with what to do. And so when I did have my visit to the homeschool store, my intention was to go in and to buy the Apology of Science. I've been looking at it for quite some time, probably about a year now I've been looking at it. And so I went right for that. I was going to get, what's it called? It was the Winged Creatures. I can't remember. I'll put a picture of it up here. And so many homeschool mamas use this curriculum, and that's what I was going to get. But when I opened it up and I just started looking at it, and I took the workbook out and I was looking at the workbook, and it just didn't speak to me. It just didn't. I wanted it to work so badly, and I'm not saying that I won't go back to it in the future because I think it is beautifully done, and I think we could have a lot of fun with it. But it just didn't resonate with me, if you will. And I was talking to the lady at the store, and she was like, well, you don't have to get the workbook. You know, there's a lot of things in the workbook that look overwhelming. You can just buy the course book, do it as a read aloud, pick and choose the different experiments and activities that you want to do with your children, and let that be it. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So I had actually put it on the shelf to buy. Like I was about to check out. And I spoke to the lady, and I was like, look, I said, do you have anything with the Generations curriculum? And she was like, because I was really looking at their history. I've been really drawn to their history because of how it points back to Jesus and how it relates to his travels and the flow of Christianity throughout the world. I really was interested in that. But I already bought a history curriculum this year, so it wasn't something that I was interested in buying. So she said, you know what, we do not have a history, but I think we have a science from Generations. And I was like, oh my goodness, well, let me look at it. And she said it's even better because it's a used curriculum and it's cheaper. And guys, this store has thousands of books, like rows of shelves of books, and this lady took off so fast. I was like having to run to keep up with her. I think she was just excited as I was to show me this curriculum, and she gave it to me, and I immediately looked at it and I was like, it's second grade, I need a third grade curriculum. And she was like, well, it's just a number, right? And I was like, yeah. And so many times throughout our homeschool, like, we will use things that are not specific to a grade level. Just like I showed you the Fix-It grammar. This is a second grade grammar, but my daughter's in third grade, okay? It's all relative, okay? You do not have to, if you see something that's a grade or two off from your child, so be it. Do it. They're still going to learn. And I also have to say, my kindergartner, he's having to learn up because he's doing all of the history, all of the science with us, and these are second and third grade curriculums, and he's in kindergarten. So he's just along for the ride, and he's just going to learn a few grade levels up, okay? So this is Generations second grade science, God Made Plants. And so after the shell shock of seeing the second grade, and I'm like, you know what, just let me take a look at it, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you just a picture. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So I opened it up and I was like, oh, it just immediately spoke to me. And this was it. This was the science curriculum. So I was like, you know what? Yes, let me get this. So this is science for the year, Generations homeschool curriculum. I have since looked into their curriculum, into their website, and I really think that this is a curriculum that we will be doing throughout our homeschool, and I'm going to speak a bit on that in a minute. So this comes with the course book, and it also comes with the activity book. Now the activity book is it's beautifully done as well. It's not just the black and white worksheets that you would see typically. It is very colorful, not boring at all for a child. And what I'm going to do with my son is, if there's something in particular that I want him to do with us as far as a worksheet goes, I'm just going to tear it out and make him a copy. There's no point in buying a whole nother workbook for him. He's just learning how to write anyway, right? He's a kindergartner. So, science, generations, I'm excited. Okay, last subject is history. And I'm going to tell you guys what we've been doing and what we're going to do. And I'm really excited about that. So this is what we have been doing. It is My America and My World from Abeka. And this is from last year. We still have a few more lessons left in this, and then we will be done. And I'm really excited to start our new history. And if you've watched any of the previous videos, you'll know what it is, but it's the Beautiful Feet books. This is early American history. I anticipate starting this next week. We're almost done with our lessons in here, and we're going to jump to this. I'm so excited to start this curriculum. I've been waiting for a while, but I will tell you, I spoke about Generation Science. The main reason I was drawn to Generations was their history and how it points back to Jesus. And it just spoke to me. I knew this was something that I wanted to incorporate into our homeschool, but I could not, I couldn't wrap my head around buying an additional history curriculum when I already had one. And I had one that I was excited about. I was not going to put this on the back burner because I want to do this, but I somehow wanted to incorporate the Generations history also. And I'll put a picture of it so you can see what I'm talking about. They were having a 35% off sale of their curriculum this past week. And I kept looking at it, I kept going back to it, and so I started reading some of the reviews. And some of the reviews pointed to the fact that your Generations history curriculum could be a standalone curriculum, or it could be an adjunct curriculum to whatever you were using. And I said, you know what, for some reason, God keeps pulling me back to this particular history curriculum. He already did with the science curriculum. I need to listen to what he is telling me, because I haven't felt this pull so strongly to a particular curriculum, and I need to listen. So when I saw that it could be used as an adjunct curriculum, I was like, you know what? If we have to do this, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to put it into our loop system, and we can do 2 days of history and 2 days of science with the different curriculums. So if I have to, I'll do Beautiful Feet one day, and I will do Generations the next day, and then our science the following day. Or another thing that I thought about doing, which I think that might work really well in our home, every night before we put our children to bed, we will do a Bible story and we will pray as a family together. And I thought that that would be an excellent time also to pull in this Generations history curriculum and maybe do it as a family with all of us and read on how Jesus affected the history of our world and Christianity. And what better way to end the day than with a story like that, right? So I did buy it. I'm excited. It has not come in yet, but when it does, I will show you guys all of the books, because I went ahead and bought all of them because I know we're going to use them. I know that this is something that God wants us to incorporate into our homeschool. And The one thing that I try so hard to do is just to follow as he leads. And I always want to have an open mind and ear and heart to the things that he is wanting us to do in the different seasons of our homeschool. And I pray that you can do the same with yours as well. Okay, last subject for third grade curriculum is health, safety, and manners. Now this is from Abeka. We've done this before. We love it. As you can see, this is a second grade. That's fine. I do this with my third grader and my kindergartner. They both love it. They both love talking about health and all of the things that relate to this curriculum. My daughter's waving from the window. Hey. Okay. They're outside playing right now. It has been so beautiful this week, and the temperature in the south has been fantastic. So we have been spending a lot of our time outside, a ton of time actually, and we've even been doing school outside several days, and the kids love that because they'll go play, and then I'll be like, okay, it's time for your language arts lesson, and they'll run over and they'll do it, and they'll go back and play, and then I'll holler at the other one, and I'm like, okay, it's time for math, come on over. And so we just kind of tag team our lessons, and they have loved doing that. Now, something that I bought this year in addition to the health, safety, and manners is this little activity book, and this goes with history, science, and health. So we did history and science with Abeka last year. We're moving on to something different this year, not because I did not like the way that they did it. I did, but I just felt like it was time for something different for our family. I love Abeka. I love their readers that they have. They are another example of a company whose literature you do not have to worry about. You can give your child a book from their company, and you don't have to worry about the content that is related to that book. Say hi.
Here.
Hey. Hi.
Hey,
So I've been playing.
Here, baby.
You're playing,
Here.
huh? Oh, I noticed you. Hi.
Door, please.
Hi.
Wendy, can you close the door?
Okay, so Abeka, health, safety, and manners. We're doing this. They love it. It's a quick little thing that we can learn about nutrition and food and safety and all of that encompasses. There's so many different safety issues out there for children these days, and we talk about all of these things. Abeka, love their company, love what they stand for. They are a Christian-based company. I know tons of families that use this in its entirety for their curriculum, for their homeschool, for all of the subjects. They use Abeka, and it's a very intense curriculum. It's a very good curriculum, but this was one of the books that I picked up for my daughter at the homeschool store, and it's a third grade reader, and she read this in her morning quiet time. So every day when we start our homeschool, the first thing that we do is our Bible time. We will do our little apologetics, things that we like to do, and then we will get into our personal quiet times. And so for her, this was something that she read in addition to her devotion and some other things that she does in her Bible time, and she loved it. And the content surrounding this story was so good, and she and I had such great conversations over the ideas in this book, the different situations that this character was presented with. And so if you do have a child in or around the third grade, this is an excellent addition to your homeschool. Wonderful, wonderful story. So I could probably continue to go on about third grade curriculum or just curriculum in general, but I'm going to stop right there because this video would be very, very long, and we don't want to do that. So with that being said, if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you want more of our content, please subscribe to our channel. It's a free way to support us. We are so excited to share our lives, our travel, school, our homeschool with you guys. And with that being said, I hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.